day 5, October 13th. For this afternoon's hunt, I'm going back to a spot that we've called Bucky Ridge. Ever since our kids were, 10 years old, or even less than that, I think, when we started hunting back in here. We killed a lot of deer back here during the youth seasons, but I've hunted it a fair number of times, and it's a really pretty spot, a neat setup. And the farmer that's cash renting the farm this year, he just pulled out. So he just got done combining this about half an hour ago. So the deer should have all the reason that they need to come out of the brush and come out into this picked cornfield. The stand on this one is at the far end of the ridge. The tricky part here is coming out at the end of legal shooting time. There's no easy way out. So if I have to, I may have to call in reinforcements to drive back in here and blow the deer off the field. Sometimes we can shoot our way out, which is my preferred method. Pick a doe right at last light, shoot the doe, that spooks and clears the field, and you can come back in and pick the doe up later at your convenience. But that's the plan for tonight. There's not a buck back here that I'm aware of that I would shoot. I ran camera here for about 10 days, but that was about 3 weeks ago. So it's been a long time since there's been a camera here, and so there could be really anything back at the end of this field. It'll be fun to find out what's there. Looking forward to it. Like I said, it's a really cool spot to hunt. So if nothing else, it's just a fun way to spend a beautiful afternoon in mid-October. I go under. Yeah. I'm glad it was a doe and not a buck. I put the 20-yard pin low. I stopped her, thinking that she was going to drop a little bit at the sound of the shot. So I had the 20-yard pin about at the heart. But the problem is, she was probably about a little over 20. Not much, 22 maybe, but she didn't drop. So the arrow went pretty much right where my pin was. I suppose at 20 yards or 22 yards, I shouldn't expect them to drop very much, but I thought as alert as she was that she might drop a few inches, but like I said, at least it was a doe and I didn't screw up on a buck that I'd been hunting for a couple of years. Still pretty hard to take though whenever you miss one. It's never any fun, but it kind of bugs me too, really, because you don't know what to do. Oops, here we go. Well, that's one seriously dumb doe there. Maybe it's a good thing I didn't kill her, because we can keep those genetics in the herd and she can pass them on to the bucks. Make my life a lot easier. So I nicked her brisket. She ran into the brush, blew a couple times, came back out again at 30 yards. And I was feeling sorry for myself, so I didn't have an arrow back on the string. I was just standing here talking to the camera. I looked over and there she was. So by the time I got an arrow off the quiver and onto the string, she had started walking. And of course, when I tried to stop her this time, she trotted off. But, you know, you get your comedy of errors, I guess. She's still out there. Maybe she'll come back. I mean, the way she's been acting so far, it wouldn't surprise me if she comes right back down here again. It's kind of weird too, because we're up in this tree and the tree has died since I put the stand in here last year. So it's totally bare. There's no leaves, nothing, just a few branches. And she still didn't figure out what we were doing up here. I guess I only hunt this spot a couple of times a year. So the deer probably never really do know what's going on. Maybe she's never seen a person in a tree before. But hopefully she sees a person in a tree at least one more time and we can get a little revenge on that doe. I've got about 30 minutes left in my day here. The only thing that's come out so far has been that doe that I nicked, and I was just getting ready to say that it bugged me that she didn't drop when she popped out of the brush again, but the thing that bugs me about it is the fact that you plan for them to drop and then they don't, and then sometimes you think, well, this one might not drop, and then it does, so you almost have to shoot all of them as if they're going to drop, and then if they don't, then you do what I did on that one, is you miss them low. But she was actually about 25 yards away. I had the 20-yard pin probably low heart, so had she dropped, 4 or 5 inches, it would have been a pretty good shot. But that's not what happened. So you live and you learn. Not quite sure what the lesson was, though, unfortunately. But with 30 minutes left, there's got to be something come out here. This is too good of a spot for that to be the only deer that's come out. The wind is about perfect. The conditions are beautiful. I have to believe that we're going to see some more deer before this one's over. I'll bring it to you in the rest of the blog here, and I probably won't break back in again unless there's something that's, really noteworthy to talk about. Otherwise, should be back in the tree again, hopefully both Saturday and Sunday. And we'll keep these video blogs going, so keep checking back into Winke's blog, and I'll keep bringing you these video blogs.